This is our top 5 basic skills that every mountain biker should know. Number 1, a good stance on the bike. Stand nice and tall. It should feel like most of your weight is to your feet and not through your arms onto the bars. Make sure your feet are in the right position on the pedals so the ball of your foot is just in front of the axle of the pedal. And once you drop into the trail, your arms and legs provide the best suspension possible. If you're already crouched, you're going to lose half of that suspension. Remember to keep your head up and chest open. Number 2, learning the limits of how much you can move around on the bike. It's what I call the arc of movement. In the ready position, in the middle of the bike, your hips will be above the saddle and you can move them all the way down to the back wheel and up and forward towards the bars. This is much easier with your saddle out of the way, so if you've got a dropper post, get it down there. This is a really big one for beginners. Often they feel like they're moving a lot around the bike, but actually their hips are never really getting very close to that rear tyre. So find yourself a nice open piece of trail or car park, get a feel for this, so when you do it on the trail, it doesn't feel unnatural. Using your brakes effectively. They can be your best friends, but also your worst enemies. They often cause crashes. In steep sections, when you're on the brakes heavily, you get out of control, often it's actually best to get back off them, get back in control and then brake again. Take some time to practice modulating your brakes, so you're not just using them 100% all of the time. You're just feathering them slightly in some occasions, especially when cornering, when you want to try and come off the brakes totally, especially the front brakes, get that front tyre gripping. The next thing to practice actually uses 2 of those skills I've just talked about, the arc of movement and effective braking. So when it comes to emergency stopping, really stopping as fast as possible, you're going to want to drop your weight to the back of the bike, just by dropping your heels and getting your hips back. Otherwise, when you hit the brakes, all your weight's going to go onto the bars and potentially over. So get to the back of the bike, on the brakes nice and strong, and you should stop really quickly. Oh, that was close. Almost hit that feather. Number 4, work on trying to find your natural pedalling speed, otherwise known as cadence. Good riders will change gear really often to try and stay in that cadence for most efficient power. Try and monitor your power through the pedals when changing gear as not to crunch through the gears and risk snapping your chain. Try and preempt the trail as well. So you change gear early, but most efficient riding. Number 5, training yourself where to look on the trail. When you're driving your car down the motorway, you'd never look at the bonnet, so same thing counts on the bike. You need to be looking way down the trail. Yes, when it gets very technical, you might want to pick a line closer to your front wheel, but more often than that, you need to be looking very far ahead. Here I can see a right-hand berm. In the corner of my vision, I can see a left-hand one at the bottom. For me personally, I have to keep reminding myself all the time to look a bit further. So now I'm actually going to use a point of view camera to talk you through where I'm actually looking. So this section has actually got some ruts in it. It's really important with ruts to keep your head up so you don't slide off the edge of one. I'm just about to turn into a much more technical downhill section. So I'm looking at the way in, now I'm looking down to that berm. Now to the exit of the corner. That's really important with corners, spot the exit early. Now rock section, I'm starting to look much closer to my front tyre, round a corner, back, further ahead. A faster section, now I'm looking really far down the trail to that far right-hand berm, left-hand berm, straight right-hand berm. I can see a bag, left. Now I'm looking about 50 metres ahead, really fast section, up and over and up and over. Right-hand berm coming up, left, right, roller, left, right, rollers, jumps. Second jump and berm. Brake hard. So there you go, there's our top 5 basic mountain bike skills that everyone should know. If you knew these already, then maybe you should click up there and check out our top 5 essential trial skills that every mountain biker should know, and click down there for the top 10 setup mistakes. Click on the GMBN logo to subscribe and give us a thumbs up if you enjoyed this video.